Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. Fandom, fun, funny.
Nerdy Girls podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls. You like that, Katie?
I have literally never heard that before.
Hang on. Say it again.
Fun.
Enjoy it again.
Nerdy Girls podcast.
All right. I think it's done now.
One more time.
Give it a second. And
Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy
All
Girls
right.
podcast.
Woo!
Fandom, fun, funny.
Nerdy Girls podcast.
Whew. Thank you
I
to
for one
our
vote to keep it on loop all podcast
the entire
long.
time.
yeah.
Whole time.
Thank you to our musical director, Paul Miller, who created that jam right there. So if you listen to the show, you hear that little jingle kick things off. But that's always been a post-production thing. And in an effort to not work so hard, it's one of the doesn't work for you.
Amen.
in an effort to be lazy.
I was like, Donna, what if we put the theme right into StreamYard, the equipment, the software that we use, and then you don't even have to add that at the end. You just get to post it. She was like, yes, this is brilliant. So we
Work
also
smart,
have the
not hard.
jingle out when we're ready to be done, which is really nice because if I'm ready to be done with you guys, I'm just going to start playing this. Nope, sorry, we're done. Don't want any more of that, Katie.
And thank you everybody for listening to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast.
All
How
right,
long
what-
have I been on this podcast and I have never heard that before?
You've never heard the jingle? That
Never.
is the first time you've ever heard the jingle?
Maybe you should listen to your
That's the
own
first
podcast.
3 times I've heard that jingle.
Katie, that
I
has
love
been
that
our
so much.
our
How
jingle
long have we had
for,
that?
for what?
Since the kind of like shortly after the Kind of Nerdy Girls started.
Yes. So when we went from being the Kind of Nerdy News,
Yep.
and then I got fired and we had to change the name, but we kept the podcast. That was my radio life. I was like, fine, I don't need your paycheck anymore, but you don't get to keep my podcast. I'm keeping Katie and John in this divorce.
Leave me the podcast.
Yeah, so then it was like, wow, like we got to like go big now, right? Because we're independent. We don't have a radio station helping us like pump out this podcast. We don't have a fancy studio anymore. We got nothing. All I got is Katie and Jonna. I didn't even have a studio at the time.
Yeah.
This is it. So I was like, we gotta, come out, guns a-blazing,
Come
like
on, swing it.
we're better than ever. And so I turned to my friend Paul Miller. You can follow him like on Instagram and the TikToks, just plain Paul. And he's a musical genius. And so that's where that came from. So yeah, it's been around for what? How long ago did I get fired, Katie?
3,
Oh my gosh.
4
How
years
many
ago?
years has that been?
4?
It was pre-COVID.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah,
We did.
Yeah,
2018.
But it was only like Was it
It was-
18 or was it 19?
I think it was 19.
Was it
I want to say it was 19 because I left shortly after you got fired.
When
Yes.
did the COVID shutdown begin?
March
of
2020.
2020.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah, so 2019.
Yeah.
That
So
no, I think it
4
was
years?
2018, guys.
I think it was
Because I
19.
worked at Make-A-Wish
Oh,
for
yeah,
almost
yeah,
2 years.
that's
Oh,
right.
you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you are right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Screw radio.
yeah,
Who needs radio?
I mean,
You
I
wanna
worked
ta-
in TV for 2 and some change years.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then you got
and
your
you have an Emmy to prove it.
literally Katie, gamer Katie here is going to give us a gaming update here in a little bit. She got her Emmy and she was like, "Peace out."
Actually, I got nominated for the Emmy, pieced out, then won the Emmy and had to come back and get it.
Yes.
I forgot.
It was
That's
like,
right. That's right.
Hi, I know I'm still under a non-compete, but give me my Emmy.
I did. I emailed him. I'm like, "Where's my Emmy?
Oh my God.
Give me that. That's mine." And then I showed up. I'm like, "Give me that."
Hey, do you just literally walk around the house just holding the Emmy every once in a while?
It's on my mantle, so every time we watch TV, we have to look at it.
Oh, nice.
Well
nice.
played.
Nice.
Well played.
So you're watching that TV and you're like, I could have produced this so much better. I mean, look at that, Emmy. Clearly,
Your
I
eye
could have done
drifts
better.
just a little over yonder. The glittery gold, you know.
All right. So the kind of nerdy girls today, we're missing producer Jonna because she is on the road to Horror Hound Cincinnati, which is a fabulous, fun horror convention.
Love how you
And-
Emphasize it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Horror.
It's horror. Horror.
3 R's.
So she's executive producer now. Did you hear, Katie, that she promoted herself?
I would.
Yeah,
100%.
well, she
I
did.
fully support that. I would be like executive director, producer, whatever title I could come up with about every couple
Right.
weeks. I'd be like,
Yes.
I promoted myself.
100%.
By all means, if you want to be like executive gamer Katie, just like change it. Just change it on your name there on StreamYard, and
then it's official.
It's official.
Yeah,
Well-
and then you get your IMDb credit for it too.
Yes.
You know, maybe someday I do want an IMDb page. This is good news.
You know what? I did. I have subscribed to IMDb Pro, and so that's how we've been getting some of our interviews. Because then you can see, like Katie, you can go look for like Pedro Pascal's publicist, and if we want to email him and be like, "Hey, we'd love to have a Pedro Pascal on the show," they're going to be like, "That's
No.
funny."
Yeah.
But I mean, we could ask. You know,
It doesn't hurt to ask.
right? Sounds like you got to take your shot. You got to take your shot. Which, by the way, we're going to start off immediately by talking about our favorite convention, PopCon, which is coming to Louisville, June 16th through the 18th, and coming back to Indianapolis for its 10th year, August 25th through the 20th.
10 years?
It's 10 years.
10 years, Katie.
Yes. Did you go to the first one, Katie?
I don't know. I don't think I did. I did go to some of the earlier ones, like before we knew each other. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the first one we actually did a KJ's PopCon pass. That was like right in the like heart of the. Do you have a KJ's PopCon
I think
pass?
I still have it.
Oh my God. You
Yes.
don't. Oh God.
we've
This
done-
is gonna be awesome.
This is probably not the original one because we did a second KJ's PopCon pass. Like, I don't know. It was so the first one was the year we've done. For some reason, we've only done 2 KJ PopCon
Look
passes.
at all those badges.
And both times that we did them was when Hodor from Game of Thrones was there.
Oh, hold
That's
the
the
door.
one I missed. I wanted to go to that one.
Yes.
Was it him and the most lackluster character, Bran?
Okay, so first year, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First year, we got to do VIP seating and get a picture with Christian Nairn, who plays Hodor.
Yes.
And it's a hilarious picture because he is so, I mean, he
He's
is
a huge human being.
as big as you would imagine him to be, and then some. And I am like, the size of an 8-year-old. And so the picture is hilarious. And it was him, and that was the year that Nicholas Brendan came from Buffy,
Nikki,
and
yeah.
so that was very exciting because I'm such a Buffy fan, and we got to sit front row for that.
amongst other things.
Yes, and and then adventures ensued. And then the next time, I don't know why we didn't like keep doing it, but I got kind of busy because I started working for PopCon and doing social media and hosting panels and things. So I think that's why. But the year that they brought Christian Nairn back, they also brought the actor that played Bran, and we
Yes.
were like, I mean, that's cool, whatever. And we had no idea that 3 years later we were going to be like, oh,
The King
Right.
of Westeros.
we were hanging out with the king and we didn't know it.
Right.
You know, at that point, I don't think he knew it either.
There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
There's no way. And I think he would probably admit there's no way he saw that coming. Like none of us thought,
did.
right?
No,
You're like, wait, what?
that was a massive swerve in that storyline.
I
I
just
how
remember.
mad people were.
Oh,
Yes.
God, yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, honestly, that season was kind of a throwaway season, but I mean,
Everybody's still waiting for the book so that we have a better ending.
right.
I like
Yeah.
to think that it just ended after season 6.
It's best.
Yeah. And you know, it was a great endpoint. It really was.
Yeah.
You didn't need the,
Man. But I remember like everyone was so mad and I was mad too. I'm like, this is how we're ending this.
Right.
I bet
and
we
that-
could pull that episode of our podcast from the archive. where
Yes.
we were so bad.
yes.
We were. But the
And-
only solace that I took in it was like, well, at least I can say I got my picture with him. Like,
Right. Well,
I didn't get my picture with anybody else that might have ended up on the throne.
What's crazy, I think that was that may be the first and only episode that Katie has watched like real time with all of us together as well. I don't think there's been another series since Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I actually chronically don't pay attention to things until like weeks after they've come out.
Yeah. Have you even considered watching The Last of Us
Here's
yet?
the thing, okay? Here's the thing.
Katie,
Let me.
you love Pedro Pascal and you
I
love
do.
The Last of Us.
I do.
You are disappointing.
Oh, God.
It's
on
all
so
my
many
favorite
levels.
things. You know,
That's
it's all my
perfect.
favorite things.
Mhm.
My defense, in my
Mhm.
defense,
Mhm.
I like to binge things, so I will wait until all the episodes are out and then watch them. That's my excuse. and
They're
I'm sticking
freaking
to
out
it.
and they've been out.
I know, and I still haven't watched them because I
I
played that
know.
game, and then I played the remastered version a couple years later, and I know what happens, and I don't want to go through that again.
That's fair.
But Katie, from what I understand, after episode 2, things go quite differently. So you might be okay.
I can only say what happens in the game, and the game's like 10 years old, so I don't think I'm spoiling anything at this point.
No.
But yeah, I can't live through that again.
Okay. I get it. I understand. I honestly, I didn't want to live through it either. And then, I mean, it was the weirdest thing when the show was over because I had been watching it Mondays lunchtime. I was like, all right, I watch The Last of Us every Monday, and you get in that habit so quickly. And it was only 8 episodes. But then, like last Monday, when I didn't have it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm more stressed that I don't have an episode of The Last of Us or that for like 8 weeks I did, because every Monday was like,
Right.
here we go.
Well, and
Here we go. And props to them and probably to the developers as well of the original game. But the character development, like they made you like care about these people so quickly, and they're like, yeah, you got them for one episode, dead at the end.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was
Oh.
one episode. Like
Go
you
play
got,
the game. Like it
Yeah.
hurts just as bad.
I can't imagine.
And
Especially
I
when
think
you spend like 30 hours collecting shivs, because I remember that was like the worst part of the game. Is
collecting
like every
shivs.
shivs. So like the way to be sneaky in the game, so you didn't like set off the clickers and set off the other zombies, was you shanked them,
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
every time you used a shiv, you broke it off in the zombie, so you had to go collect a new one and get the
That's
new
fair.
piece. So you spend like 80% of this game collecting shivs, and like if you don't have any and you don't have any bullets, you just got to sneak around and like pray and hope for the
Mhm.
best. So like you get all connected to these characters, then you spend 30 hours doing that, and then the ending happens. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Well,
You
and
know?
I didn't watch. I literally didn't watch a single second of it. And then I came home from work, and you were finishing it up, and it was like the last 15 minutes of the last episode. I was like, "What the hell is happening?"
Yeah. And,
I mean,
and
it
I'm
was
like,
intense.
that is, it's so annoying when that happens. It's like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I'm fine. I'll watch it on Mondays at lunch, and I'll just be stressed by myself.
Right.
And then,
Mhm.
and then I don't remember why, but like the finale, I must have had like a business meeting for lunch or something, and so I was watching it when he got home from work, and then he's like, "Oh my god!" And so like, what is this? And like, tell me about this. I'm like, no, I'm
Let me
not
watch
giving.
it.
I'm not giving
Let me
you.
watch it.
Like, just let me watch it. I got 20 minutes left of this. I'm not giving you the 7-episode recap.
See,
Well,
that's
I am
where we're
trying-
different, because I'll pause it and be like, all right, Sit down. Let me tell you the story.
Come, everyone.
I do it to my
gather
husband.
around.
So, like, we're watching 90 Day Fiance right now. I say I'm watching it, and he'll occasionally be in the room. But when he's in the room, he's glued to the TV because it's
Yeah.
just dramatic, right? So, like, he'll pop in and out in random episodes, and I'll give him the recap, like what we missed, you know?
Mhm.
And he is invested.
Nice.
You know what? It's a great segue, Katie. It's like you knew. The show that I did that with Patches, spoilers, Patches is my husband. If this is your first time
No.
listening to the Kind of Nerdy Girls, blew your mind right there.
Plot twist.
What it was Gilmore Girls, who Scott Patterson is going to be at PopCon Louisville June 16th through the 18th. We're going to be
Hey.
talking more about PopCon. But I was doing a rewatch of Gilmore Girls, and he would come home and it was on, and he would like cook in the kitchen and like occasionally ask some questions and stuff, but didn't act like he really cared about it that much. But then one day I was like, I could put something else on. Like, you don't have to watch Gilmore Girls. And he's like, no, it's okay. You can just keep it on. And I'm like, no, really? Like, we can watch
That's how it
something else.
starts. Yep.
And like, I literally like pushed
Yeah.
him to where he was like, no, fine, I want to watch Gilmore Girls. And I was like, yeah, you do.
Yes!
Yeah,
I
you
do.
do.
When the 4-part Netflix came out, I was like, yes, let's go.
That's how it starts. Like just
It's-
the wandering eye in the room at the same time. And then occasionally like you'll hear it on and you'll creep in. And then eventually you're
Mhm.
like, so what did I miss? You know, just
Mhm.
casually. And you're
it was
invested.
great because I was cooking in the kitchen, and I didn't have to watch it per se because the dialogue was so good.
Mhm.
I mean, like, it's just great writing, great dialogue. So every once in a while I'd look up, and I mean, let's be honest, I do love me some Lauren Graham. So, I just kept looking over, and I was like, yep, just like little by little by little.
Mhm.
But I did make him like I just made him come out and say, yes, I want to watch Gilmore Girls. I'm like, yeah,
you literally made me say the words. Yes, it's
See, I
like
get-
tap out, come on.
See, I get that smile on my face. I'm like, you like this trash too, don't you?
You're talking about 90 Day Fiance, though. Right?
Yeah, yes, 90 Day Fiance is trash. Gilmore Girls that's just some it's some good fun. It's like you said, it's witty dialogue.
Yes.
They did a good job of like towing the line on ridiculous, but ridiculous enough that you're like, yeah, I mean, this is what happens in small towns, right? Like,
Right.
it was just it was fantastic. So Scott Patterson, headlining guest at PopCon Louisville, June 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets now at popcon.us.
That's right, popcon.us.
Thank you. We are going to be, I heard we're very close to putting photo ops on sale. So you'll be able to get those, and those are limited. So you never want to wait and be like, oh, just like when I get there, I'll buy my photo op. No, you want to get those in
Always
advance.
get those ahead of time.
And also that way you have like your schedule planned
Yeah,
out.
you
right?
like plan your weekend around it,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have autograph times, panel
Yeah.
times, photo op times. I
Mhm.
mean, like there is a small science to it.
Yes.
If you're like a Disney planner, that's the way to go, you know?
Oh,
Right?
absolutely. So we announced Scott Patterson probably about a month ago. We are going to have him on the KJ Today show.
So
I'm
excited.
going to be interviewing him in a couple of weeks. I'm super excited about that. And I am very excited because the announcements we've been doing the last few days here for PopCon have been the Mod Squad.
Yeah.
Squad.
So excited about this. What's really different about PopCon is that like there is this group of passionate people behind it, and it's not a convention that like plops itself down in every town and has the same vendors, the same guests, does the same things. Like PopCon is always
It's not a cookie cutter con.
right. No, it's they're creating experiences. So do you want to play laser tag? Do you want to play virtual reality for the first time? Do you want to learn
Mhm.
board games, like the board
Do you
game
wanna play
section
darts,
itself?
maybe?
Yeah, maybe. But also like we have a team of moderators who are all very passionate about what a great con PopCon is, but also very different likes.
And what do you call yourselves?
We are it's the first time ever. We are the PopCon Mod Squad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do we get
Like it.
t-shirts?
Yeah. we'll get
Oh,
we can do
yes.
t-shirts.
Yes.
If not, I think we should do t-shirts, but we'll
We should
also
make our
get
own. Yeah.
we'll get our own badges, right? Like that we'll walk around with that badge. It's like I'm the mod
Yeah.
squad, man.
Like, be like,
Yeah.
But like we all have that fan perspective, and if you check the PopCon Facebook page right now, you'll see that Katie was announced as a PopCon mod squad
Surprise. I actually
member.
committed to something.
Yes, and if you love her bio and you're like, man, I got to get to know more about this Katie girl, you're welcome, Katie.
Sorry in advance.
No, it's very, very exciting. So we have Katie, who is actually going to give us a gaming update here. And so, of course, in Louisville, two of the other big guests. Do you want to tell everybody, Katie?
Is it the boys?
It is the boys.
It is
the
the
boys
boys.
in your picture.
The boy,
yes.
yep. So they get double promoed, which is exciting. Roger Clark and Rob Weedoff, aka the two main characters from Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. They were at
Nice.
PopCon last year. They're at PopCon this year. They're very fantastic human beings, on top of being very charming and very fun. Like, I remember last year we talked about all the behind the scenes stuff of like how video games are made. Very exciting. I geeked out. I was very excited.
Yeah, was there anything that they like that pops out in your mind, like a particular question, or maybe some like information other than just the information of like, wow, I love this game, and now these guys are here and they're fabulous human beings, which makes it even cooler.
Yep.
Was there anything that like you remember that? Because these panels, if you haven't been to a panel before, you don't know what that is. Maybe you haven't been to a con. You literally get to sit in a room and just have a conversation with your favorite celebrity.
Yep.
And so there's a person on stage, and that for this particular Red Dead Redemption, it's Katie, because nobody knows this game better than Katie. And so you can ask them anything, and ask them, like, what their favorite beer is, like, or you could ask them things about the game. So getting back to that, Katie, was there anything like from when you moderated it that you were like, this is so cool?
So I geek out a lot about like the behind the scenes stuff, like how things work and how they're made. And I remember somebody asked a question about like, what was the hardest part of making the actual games themselves? And they're motion capture, which means they're not just voice actors. They're the actual actors. Like they have to go through the motions and do everything and do all the actions.
They're wearing the ping pong balls on
They're
their
wearing all
pong
those.
suit. Yeah.
Okay.
And they have to make the faces so that the face meshes correctly, and they have to do all of these things. And it was not just standing in a booth voice acting like we all thought it was. It was, you're an actual actor. Like you have to become this person and do this part. And they went into great detail about how they had to like squat and walk around for like hours and hours and hours, and their legs just ached and hurt, but that's what happens in the game. So they had to record it, and they had to pretend to ride horses, and they had to act with each other and all those kinds of things. And
How
then
do you pretend to ride a horse? Like what?
like a fake horse, because they have to motion capture the horse separately, right?
All I can think is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's all I can think of.
With the
I haven't seen
coconuts.
it.
Coconuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was just very fun, like behind the scenes. And I remember a couple of other people asked like personal preferences and stuff like that. Like they, what do you guys do for fun? Who are you as people? It wasn't just about the game itself, but they're very, very charming, very nice. And they get along really well, which makes the panel real fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I didn't want to interrupt there or act like I didn't care because I was looking at my phone. But producer Jonna, she is right now at Horror Hound, and she just texted.
On location live.
She just.
Yeah.
I had given her the StreamYard if she wanted to log in, but I think she's just having a too good a time to even bother with us. But she said, "Do you all have the Back to the Future soundtrack on vinyl?" And I said,
Not
"We
yet.
do not." So I think that we are about to get it.
Love me some Huey Lewis.
I sense a present in your future.
Okay. Yep, you just do you, buddy.
Oh man. And Tia from Geek Vibes just texted, and she said that she is working her weekend job, so she couldn't join us today. So
Yes,
I
you're
mean,
stuck with me.
Just Katie.
No.
But I think the last.
Do you remember when we started the show and it was just the two of us?
It was just the two of us. Yeah. Yeah. But you can't get those. They tease you, like you can search for the kind of nerdy girls and the kind of nerdy news. And you think that like, oh, I found it. And then you go to the link and they're like, nothing's here anymore.
It was blessing in disguise. That was when we were discovering ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Even
all 300
still,
episodes.
even still, like there was a whole new level of discovery when we didn't have this like, posh, nice little laid out radio studio that was all like engineered and taken care of for us. So like the first episodes of the kind of nerdy girls, I still don't want you to go back to those because there's your yeah. We don't need no radio jobs. We're doing just fine here. I'm better than I've ever been.
Or it was, hey guys, welcome.
Oh, we were doing the best we could. It's just like, the KJ Today Show. I did the same thing. We started the KJ Today Show last May and I was like, we're just doing it. Like, we're not going to plan for it. We're not going to it's going to like all the flaws, all the things we're going to screw up. It's just all going to happen like as we go. And we're 42 episodes in and we still haven't figured out how to do it.
It's perfectly imperfect.
It makes you human.
It does. Do you notice our lighting? I don't have it perfect for the show, but do you notice a change in the lighting?
You've been playing around with the visuals here a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Getting a little experimental.
Mm-hmm. We're starting to figure this thing out.
I recommend a disco ball.
I'll consider it. I'll consider.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See?
That's Oh, yeah, right there. Malcolm, just get you good. Okay, that's all we need to know. For those of you who are patrons, you just watched Malcolm really hit patches where it hurts.
Yeah, he did.
So let's talk about PopCon Louisville first, because that's where our boys are going to be. The Red Dead Redemption boys, Rob Wheatoff and Roger Clark. And that's where Scott Patterson is going to be. Cooper Andrews from The Walking Dead.
Oh, he's such a nice guy.
And
which one is he?
So he is, well, you saw Shazam, right? So he's the dad of all the kids. He's like the
foster dad. Yeah.
You didn't watch Shazam. Oh my God.
I didn't watch Shazam.
All right.
We were sitting in the theater for whatever movie we just saw, which I've completely wiped from my memory. Ant-Man. And the Shazam trailer comes up, and Eric and I lean over to each other, and we're like, "We didn't watch that."
So Cooper was Jerry in The Walking Dead. Sort of in the like, I'm pretty sure it was like the first few seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. So very excited to have him. And then we've got, one of the great things about PopCon is that, we have such great representation from the voice actor world, from like anime and and we even have we have Jim Cummings, who's the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Hey!
Her too.
Yeah, Mr. Jim is great.
Yes,
he is so good.
So it's a really fun mix of celebrities from all different worlds and YouTubers that are going to be there, and even our friend Tiffany Rice, the spirit medium from Paranormal Crossroad.
Small world.
Yeah, she's going to be joining us as well.
So who's going to moderate her panel, you or me, or do we have to fight about that?
What I was thinking.
Yeah.
Here's what I was thinking would be nice is if, there's no rules here like other cons have like rules, and there's like one moderator and they do all the panels all weekend long. And we're like, well, but if you're not excited,
we want to see stuff too.
Right. Like, yeah. And, if you're a moderator who has never seen Demon Slayer, you're not going to be as into it. You can be prepared, but you're not going to be as into it.
You're missing out. But yeah, you won't be prepared.
Right. So we're like, okay, well, we'll mix it up. Katie loves gaming. Tony Schaub is a fabulous movie reviewer. You can go to sciencefiction.com. He's the senior writer there.
Like a real writer.
Real writer.
Real
Proper.
writer. Compared to us,
Yes.
a real critic.
Yes. I asked him, he has not responded yet, but he got to see the Dungeons and Dragons sneak preview yesterday.
Aww,
and I just made it back on the list. Like, it's been like, when I was in radio, you got to be on the list for everything. And then they're like, oh, you're not like actually like you're just a podcaster now.
You're not a
you're
real person.
Yeah. And truthfully, it wasn't that. It was just that like I had an email address for the radio station and then I didn't. And so I just didn't get back on the list. But I finally got back on the list. First movie, they're like, you're invited to a screening of Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm like, hell yeah. And I pulled it up. It's like, and it will be Saturday at 11:30. And I'm like, I got people at my house. Crap. Like I was like, man. Because they're usually at night. So I was like, oh, I bet it's going to be like, like a Thursday night or something. I'll be able to go. They were like, no, right at that time that you told everybody to come for your St. Patrick's Day celebration.
It just works like that.
Yeah.
That's
Murphy's Law, man.
But Tony is fabulous. And he will host our PopCon secret games, which a lot of people played last year as Squid Games, but we're not calling it that. PopCon secret games, and he does a ton of improv. He'll do like trivia panels, and he's just so fantastic.
Is he part of the mod squad?
He is part of the mod squad. And then we have Christy Blanche, who is like written and produced a gazillion comic books herself and has her own comic book store in Muncie and has moderated, other big cons as well. And so like you were just bringing all these cool people in with different backgrounds, but all with just as much passion for PopCon. So
that sounds like an all-star cast to me.
I was going to be like, who's the imposter among the group?
No, that would be me, Katie. I'm like, you got, I'm doing the bios and posting this because I do social media for PopCon. So I'm like, look at Katie with like her.
I can tell you wrote your bio.
Yeah,
you wrote that bio, and I could tell it was you just from the way it was written.
That I wrote your bio.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I was like, I'm so flattered.
Wow, I'm really kind of a big deal, aren't I?
And by the way,
I was just going to carry my trophy around all weekend, but like, whatever, this works.
You really should. I am the Emmy Award winner on the Mod Squad. All right,
dude.
I'm going to get it a little backpack. Yeah,
dude. Just literally, just like put it on the table between you and the celebrity. And just
every time,
right there.
Yes.
So we're all award winners here. Yeah.
Yeah. You got your Emmy? No, you don't have an Emmy yet. Oh man, don't give up the dream. Don't give up the dream.
You too can achieve someday.
Yeah, you'll get there one day. I believe in you.
I did throw in, like on purpose, I added in the, as her nickname suggests, Katie is a video game enthusiast who also loves true crime, documentaries, and pretty much anything Pedro Pascal does. And I did that on purpose to be like, except for The Last of Us, which she is not going to give any of her time to.
I've already given many an hour to that game, okay?
The most watched show on the internet right now. Well,
you know what? I don't like watching things when they're popular because then people won't leave me alone about it. I like to watch things on my own time.
You and Patches both. You're so contrary. Like, whatever.
I'll get around to it. It's fine.
I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to point out for our friends who are excited about PopCon Louisville is that, Katie, you have roots in Louisville. This is like homecoming for you.
Yeah, I was born there. Yeah.
Yay. Yeah. So you're good. I mean, like you're staying like with your grandma when you're down there or relatives. Yeah. Like it's gonna be like a family reunion for you.
Yeah. I don't think they'll want to come, but yeah.
That's why we have each other, because our families are all like, you are weird. And no, I don't want to do the weird things you do.
Well, you find your tribe, and it just wasn't my family. So
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So you'll be like, hey, I'll be home in time for dinner. Then I'm going to go do this weird thing again.
Right? I offered to make dinner because I was like, I'm staying at your house. It's the least I could do. They're like, okay, I guess. Thanks.
You make amazing enchiladas. I will say that.
Oh, yes.
Thank
you. You do. I agree with that.
I really worked hard on that Christmas / whatever other holidays
Friendsgiving.
were, that thing.
Yes.
I
We
worked
just
really
said,
hard
like,
on that.
generic Friends holiday
Yep.
sometime
What
in the
was it
holiday
like?
season.
It was
Random
enchiladas,
Saturday,
taco
yeah.
dip, chips and queso, and
Poblano corn pudding.
oh my
Oh,
god,
that was
was
so good.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Ugh.
All right, guys. Boop, boop, doop, boop, 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 doop, boop, 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 boop. It's time for Katie's gaming update. Boop, 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 beep, boop.
I did a lot of prep. I didn't know. I assumed since there would only be 2 of us that I'd have to fill a lot of time. So
Thank you, because
I did a
don't
lot of
prepare.
prep. Yep,
Thank you.
yep.
Yes,
So
all right.
the series Pokemon has been around for 100 years, right? 25 years actually. I grew up watching that show. I love that show. Everybody knows the main protagonist is Ash Ketchum, right?
Yes.
Well, no longer. Ash gone. Left the show. Gonskis. Dunskis. They're making room for a new protagonist in a new series.
Wow.
So it's like the end of an era. It's been 25 years with
Are you
just
sad?
Ash. A little. Like, it's bittersweet, right? So like he finally ended up being a world champion. It took 25 years, but congrats either way. You know, good job.
Never give up on your dream.
And now he's leaving. They're going to make room for someone new, which I get because they're like trying to, you know, attract younger generations and different people, not just the people that watch for nostalgia and all that. But it's still a little melancholy, you know, a little sad.
Now, how does Pokemon handle that? Is he just gonna, like, you know, go off into the sunset? Or are they like, boom, Ash is dead? Like,
I mean, he's not dead.
What?
Okay.
You have a stabby motion. You're like,
like we're like Pikachu is stabbing Ash. Like, he die, Ash.
Not quite, but they did that to my heart, you know?
Okay,
So
yes.
what they did was they're like walking along a trail. They're like, all right, we're going to set off on another adventure, right? So they get to a fork in the road and Pikachu and him throw a little stick in the air to determine which way to go. And then they go that way and then it fades to black and that's the end.
what?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So now they're rolling out a new series. It's called Pokemon Horizons, the series.
Okay.
No idea what to expect from that. Don't even know how to feel about that yet. So we'll get there when
It's
we get
okay.
there.
You
That's
can
totally
sit
fair.
with your feelings.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
You know, Katie, we've got, you know, one of our nerdy obsessions is watching the PDC
Professional darts. Yeah.
Professional Darts Championship. And actually, the reason that we are recording this podcast at noon is because we just finished watching the
morning
first
session.
the
Yeah.
first session, and the second session starts at 1. So I was like, well, I can podcast
Yeah,
from
we
noon to
have
1.
15 minutes before the 180 song.
Tick,
comes on.
tick. Let's go.
But to tie this back into Pokemon, we had our nieces and nephews. They slept over last night. And so we had darts on this morning. They're all on their phones and stuff. There is this weekend, really. I mean, we've seen a little bit of this kid, but there's this kid that's like really playing out of his mind right now.
A local kid
And
from Germany.
He's from Germany, which is where they're playing.
They're playing in Leverkusen.
And nobody can pronounce his last name, but it kind of looks like Pikachu. So he has owned it.
Yeah, his name is Ricardo Pietreczko.
And
Close
so
enough.
he, like, they start announcing him, and it's kind of like, the reason we love darts is because it's our people. It looks like it's, you know, kind of like a wrestling announcement thing. Like, they announce these players, they have their walk-up music.
It's like
everybody,
wrestling meets sports meets Comic-Con.
Bowling.
yeah, because
Yeah.
and then everybody in the crowd is in cosplay.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
it's really it's so much fun. But the Pokemon theme starts playing, and my youngest nephew
This is walk on,
literally
yeah.
like
Yes.
looked up, and you know, he's got like all of his he brought all of his Pokemon
Yep.
cards
Yeah.
over to show us like his new collection. It's like he looks up and he's like, oh, it's the Pokemon theme. And I'm like, I know, look, the guy has Pikachu. I don't know if he got permission for it, but he's got Pikachu on his shirt. Like, he is like
Yeah.
owning this. Like, he is the Pikachu player. And like, when he gets up and he's doing something great, the whole crowd's going, Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu. So I was like,
love
this,
it.
I could not have like asked for better timing to like suck our nephews into darts.
Right.
Like, you are going to watch darts and you're going to love it because you got to cheer for Pikachu.
Yeah. I love it. You find your tribe, you know?
Right?
Yeah. So what else is going on in gaming?
Okay, I bought a new game. Haven't played it
Ooh.
yet. Haven't even taken the plastic off yet.
Ooh,
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil
nice.
4. So I'm
So-
assuming you've played all the other ones.
Well, there's 8 of them,
Okay.
and then a couple of remakes.
How are there 8 of them, but this is 4?
This is a remake.
Oh, okay.
So the original Resident Evil 4 came out in 2005.
Okay.
And I was a wee child back then and did not play the scary zombie game.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to play it this time around. It was 6 years after Raccoon City, which was the big zombie thing. So this was like one of the OG zombie games, right?
Okay. Yes.
The guy that is a cop, his name is Leon Kennedy. He's not even a cop because like the zombies attacked the town the first day. So like he didn't even get instated. Like he's still a trainee rookie cop, whatever.
Okay.
He now works for the president. And the president's daughter gets kidnapped by a cult in Spain and he has to go rescue her. That's the plot of this game.
Oh, great.
But there's also zombies, right? So they're like not quite zombies like the undead. It's like a mind control parasite thing, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's got everything that you love. I mean,
does it have
zombies.
blue chickens?
No, that's
Patches
no.
will never let you forget the blue chickens.
You know what?
Yeah.
I love Stardew Valley. It's fine. I'll let it go. It's fine. And then I have 2 more games on the radar as well. Dead Island 2 comes out April 21st. That the first Dead Island came out 10 years ago, and another zombie game. Except it's
let me get zombie game.
Zombies on vacation. So right, it's the tropical island of Benoi. So it's a little like
zombies working on their tan.
Not the Caribbean, but it's like Indonesia kind of.
Okay.
Except it's like super, super, super luxury resort zombies.
Nice.
And I remember being like 15 and like beating zombies with a oar because that was the weapon that was available. It was so fun. I love that game so much.
So when we're done here, are you going to open up that game and dig into it?
I am.
All right.
So you'll be doing darts and I'll be playing zombie games.
Yep, that's
nice.
And that,
so
that's how we roll here.
Was Resident Evil 4, you said it came out in 2005, like it was a reissue or something? Was it like oh, that's our bad, we need to make that better kind of game? Or
they've been remaking them. They did Resident Evil 2, which was the one that introduced Leon, the rookie cop, on his first day.
Okay.
They did that one a couple years ago. Then they did Resident Evil 3. So they're like kind of working their way through them again.
Just kind of just like making it smoother and better.
Yep.
And just
modern gameplay, better graphics. This one
Gotcha.
says they reimagined the story a little bit. I don't know what that actually means yet. We'll find out.
Okay.
But like 7 and 8,
through...
I loved. Those were the first 2 Resident Evil games I played. And they were so different than any of the other Resident Evil games that everybody's like, no, those don't count, whatever. So when 2 came back out, I played that one again, and now we're working our way through it.
Nice.
So are you going to take your normal strategy of no strategy and just go through and just like beat everything to death, like willy-nilly, like you always do?
So you either just no rules, whatever, or you be a bitch about it and you're scared the whole time and you hide. Either way. You can play the game 2 ways.
Straight ahead or...
I'm a little worried about it because like Resident Evil is like chronically known for inventory management. That's the majority of the game. So you only have like 12 inventory spaces, but your gun takes up 3 slots because it's so big.
Okay.
So you have to like ration the stuff you have and do a lot of backtracking to the safe house over and over and over and over again because the puzzle takes up whatever. And the bullets take up another slot and whatever, except you have to like Tetris it because sometimes stuff doesn't fit. Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of the Tetris game, Tetris movie is going to be coming out. Did you see the trailer for that?
How are they going to make that a movie? I get video game movies, but Tetris.
It's the founding when from I only watched it once. I believe it was when the original black and white Game Boy came out, the green screen Game Boy. That they had to that was like the launching point was Tetris for Game Boy.
Yes, so it's kind of the story of Tetris. It's not like
they had to basically steal it from Russia, is what I like got on the trailer. So I'm interested to see it. However, I'm not interested in seeing Taron Egerton with a mustache.
Oh my gosh,
that just looks weird.
It's not great. I don't know why we have to have mustaches.
Hey, I'm all about facial hair, but like that the mustache is like, dude, quit being that.
Yeah.
Speaking of video game movies we're dubious about, Mario with our very own Chris Pratt as Mario.
We don't. Do we claim him? Is our own?
You guys like him. I haven't forgiven him.
We claim Jimbo here.
Jack Black as Bowser.
Yes.
Oh,
That's the
gonna be
only
awesome.
good part of that movie so far.
Who's playing Luigi?
Ooh, I don't know.
I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, Chris Pratt Mario, Chris Pratt Mario." Who's Luigi?
Charlie Day.
Like, who?
Charlie Day.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I can see that.
All right. I'm down for that. I mean, that's not one I'm going to rush.
It's just the weirdest mishmash cast.
It's very weird. I mean, if I get an invite to that, like, hey,
do I even want to see that?
You're welcome to attend a special screening. I'll be like, nah, I don't think so. I'm good.
Wow, look at the time. I'm really busy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted me to go into the theater to watch that.
Oh, I have to watch it. No.
Okay.
Not interested.
I'm sorry. Are you going to be a little whiny brat and like screw up the whole universe in this movie too?
Perhaps.
Perhaps it's a role he's good at.
You know what? He's drawing from experience here,
right?
I mean, come on. Let's be honest. Don't you feel bad? He's kind of getting typecasted now. So
he's making his own choices.
Just a whiny universe
making his
record.
own choices. I'm going to keep this positive
when
here.
I think Mario, I don't think whiny.
No. So a couple of notes before we wrap up the show. John Wick Chapter 4 opening weekend, over $73 million. It's
Holy
the
cow.
biggest
People
opening weekend for the series. Still haven't watched it because I can't get over the dog. I know something happens to the dog in the first movie, and I
have a website for that. Yeah,
I know at some point we need to, because I love Keanu Reeves, and I probably would really love these movies. But
I just need to know, like, at what minute mark of the movie the dog, like, they kill his dog.
Oh, I can tell you that. Hold on.
After that,
okay, all right.
I will.
Katie's going to get that for us while she's looking that up. We have some special guests coming up on the KJ Today Show, which is live on YouTube, the PopCon Network, and the Town Post Network every Wednesday. Go to youtube.com/KJ Today. Please, you'll still get the kind of nerdy girls along with it. We got the guy from Law and Order coming to the KJ Today Show. Dun dun.
In the criminal justice system.
Yes, Steve Zernkilton coming soon. You sounded nothing like him. We have Emily Swallow.
I love Emily
from The Mandalorian and Supernatural coming soon. And we also have wrestler Kevin Thorne, who is Katie. He lives right here in Indianapolis. He's now a realtor, so you can buy and sell with the champ. I know. I can't wait to have him on. Yes. All right. So at what point do we skip over the dog part?
The first 10 minutes of the first John Wick movie.
Okay. Just don't watch it.
Because that's the inciting thing that causes the rest of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and we get to watch the rest of it.
Is it like 10 minutes flat, or is it like 10:01, 10?
I don't know the exact time code.
Okay. I feel like we can Google this and figure this out, Patches. All right. This has been the Kind of Nerdy Girls. We'll be hearing from producer Jana and her horror hound adventures the next time. And we'd love for you to rate, review, subscribe, and tell your friends about the Kind of Nerdy Girls. Oh, I almost forgot we've got the music. Here we go, Katie. The theme that is played for this show for 4 or 5 years. New to Katie. Nope.
Just a little teaser.
There we go.